but every game happened on March 26th, Wednesday, 2025. We have 6 games. The first one is the Wizards beat the Sixers. You don't hear that very often. Wizards beat some other team on the road. They just decided to go with the young guys. AJ Johnson, who started, played 34 minutes. I think he needs to be rostered for points and assists, and then some threes. Did not shoot the ball well, but had 9 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1 3. Right, the playing time is good. I think we have like 10 games or so. Like he could provide some good value. Jordan Poole, they're still playing him, but we see that he played 22 minutes. So, who still had a decent game actually, 4 threes, 18 points, and 7 assists. Alex Sarr, they're playing him huge minutes, 1 steal and 2 blocks with 4 threes. That's pretty good. Same thing with Justin Champagnie. We should also roster him, but he only played 21 minutes. But this game they just decided to give a lot of bench guys that we never heard of 25 plus minutes. Champagnie should still have bulk of the minutes for the rest of the way, but there'll be games he only played 21. Champagnie is a 3-and-D guy, so if you're looking for rebounds, threes, and some defensive stats, he's a pretty good option. And Bob Carrington, you could definitely stream him for some assists. And Keyshawn George, he was out, so he's not with the team. So it just even opened up even more minutes for the rest of this Wizards squad. For the Sixers, Justin Edwards continues to be just balling out. 5 steals, 19 points, and 10 rebounds. He's been getting consistent 35 minutes, putting up pretty good numbers. All right, he's a must roster. Quentin Grimes, he's fallen off quite a bit. I think there was a week he was averaging like 30 points. Still had 22 points here and 4 threes. Yabu Saleh had 21 points and 3 threes. He doesn't get 30 minutes even at this point of the season. They want to give some of the minutes to the other guys. So back to back, you could definitely stream him. And Ricky Council and Jeff Doubting Jr. These are the 2 guys that we could also stream. But they're not huge. I don't think they're really gonna. They don't really have like that one category, right? If you want to stream these guys, it's just across the board, right? They give you a bit of everything, but it's not like one guy's gonna. If you need threes, or you need points, or you need assists, they're gonna play 35 minutes. They're gonna get a bunch of usage, and hopefully, they can put a bunch of nice games together. Even Jared Butler, I think he's the guy that. Also, they're thinking about bringing Tyrese Maxey back, which is. Why even do that? Is it like an incentive thing for him to hit certain number of games? I'm not sure. But Butler, you could stream him for some assists. Moving on to the next game, the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, this is the first 2 games. It's just funny season now. The Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett, they played 28 minutes. Both had 15 points, 5 assists, right? 6, 7 rebounds. Yeah, if you need those, sure. Like, especially Scotty, because he brings more defensive stats. But RJ, seriously, like, unless you need points and assists, you don't need to have him on your roster. And then he sits out games, right? But the Raptors, the problem is even when they're tanking, right, they don't give us an opportunity to stream players because they just give everybody 25 minutes, right? Jacoby Walter maybe is a guy that we could stream for points if he still start. Pirtle is out. Orlando Robinson obviously had a good game, but he only played 24 minutes and had 4 personal fouls. But next game, if he starts, if you need some rebounds, I don't think he blocked that many shots. Also, this game, who did they play? They played the Brooklyn Nets, another bad team. Jamal Shead, you could definitely have him for some assist. That's really pretty much the only thing he does. He'll chip in some steals and points as well. But yeah, I mean, the Raptor assist steals, you can stream Jamal. If you need points, you can stream Water if they're still in the lineup next game. Same thing with Orlando Robinson if you need field goal and rebounds. For the Brooklyn Nets, they're playing D'Lo, played 25 minutes, 5 points. What is going on with D'Lo? They actually gave Trenton Watford 26 minutes, even with D'Lo in the lineup. He just had 9 points, but if D'Lo is out, like you could definitely stream him for some points and assists. Every once in a while, Watford could go off. Keon Johnson, he gets minutes, right? Just doesn't do too much with it. 1 steal and 1 block and 5 assists is okay, but you don't really see him have like just a go-off game where he dropped 25 points and 5 threes. Claxton, As we get to the end of the season, he started playing better and better. 10 for 14 from the field with 5 blocks and 22 points, added 11 rebounds as well. So that's amazing. That's amazing. Noah Clowney had played 28 minutes, goes 1 for 9. Clowney, I think he does have a lot of hype because he's a guy that can do a lot of things. Like as we can see, he had 2 steals and block, but he just doesn't put it together. And playing time sometimes is also limited. Zaire Williams, we could stream him for points and threes. Threes and steals. That's pretty clear. Moving on to the next game, we'll just talk about 4 bad teams, and unfortunately, none of these guys really have that much value. I mean, Sixers, they got a bunch of guys, Quentin Grimes, but it's, they already picked up. But Quentin Grimes, a guy like that, you pick him off the waiver wire, he can legit help you win the league. The next game, this game actually matters, the Lakers and the Pacers. LeBron had like 2 points or like going to the fourth quarter, 0 point or 2 points or something like that in the fourth. Going into the fourth quarter, he ended with 13 and he had a tipping at the buzzer. So he extended his 10-point game, whatever. Right? When's the last time he scored under 10 points? So that's good. And Lakers, they really needed this win too. Luka played well, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, but defensively, he played well offensively, but he was a minus 16, right? Defensively, they just kept going at him. That's going to be a problem in the playoffs for sure. Lakers either got to figure out a way to hide Luka better, or Luka's got to play better. I think it's pretty straightforward. They're not, they used to go at Austin Reeves. Now they got a better option. Austin Reeves also had a great game offensively, 24 points and 5 assists. Rui Hachimura is back, so they got another guy back. Dorian Finney came off the bench, but he still played good minutes. But none of these guys, I think for now, need to be rostered. Rui Hachimura, if he get back up to 35 minutes, right, we could look at him. But there's other guys now getting the minutes on the waiver wire, so we don't have to stick with him because he only played 28 minutes. But he really just give you some points and threes, right, and a little bit of rebound and decent efficiency. For the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton has been balling, 18 assists and 16 points. Struggled a little bit from the 3-point line, but had 2 steals and a block. His assist has been amazing. He's been assisting a lot. Andrew Nembhard had 3 assists, 16 points, played all right, and Miles Turner had a bit of everything. Pascal Siakam had 15 points. He's just very consistent, but for Siakam next year, he's not a guy that we want to take in the 4th round, I don't think. Just at this point, we know he doesn't have any upside. I'd rather take somebody, right, a younger guy, right, who is already performing at that level at the end of the season. Sure, he might be really bad, but we want to go for the upside. Siakam is just too boring, and also his game, right? He gives you some points, assists, and rebound. All those are very, very important, but they're not that exciting, and his efficiency is not that great, and his defensive stats, comes and goes as well. But very consistent, and he doesn't miss games either. This year, I think he played almost all the games. How many games did he miss this year? Not a lot. Aaron Nesmith played 20 minutes, but they gave more minutes to Benedict. But if both guys are healthy, they're just stream players. Move on to the next one, the Clippers. Kind of a must-win for the Clippers, right? After this win, they're the 7th seed. I mean, the 6th, 7th, 8th seed are super, super tight. Not a not necessarily like a must-win, but having the 6th seed would be huge, I think. So you're getting into the playoffs automatically. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, you can see it. They just giving him a lot of minutes now. 40 minutes again, 27 points. That's great with 2 threes, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Norman Powell chipped in 19 points. That's great, and Harden had 29. So big three they all played well versus the Knicks at home. Knicks obviously still don't have Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks for now they're pretty kind of safe in the 3rd seed. They're 3 games ahead of the Pacers with like 10 games left. So unless they have a total collapse or Pacers go on a 10, wait, actually this is not refreshed. So actually, yeah, well, both Knicks and Pacers lost, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But the Clippers, the big 3, they all play well. And then with this win, actually, they jumped to 6th seed, Clippers. Clippers are balling. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Another team that's super dangerous, just like the Warriors when they're fully healthy. They have a bunch of guys like Ben Simmons, Bogdanovic off the bench. If you give these guys 30 minutes, they could be really, really good. But with everybody healthy, not really. For the Knicks, Cat has been balling in the last week or two with Jalen Brunson out, 34 points and 14 rebounds, added 4 assists and 2 steals. So overall pretty good. Mikal Bridges played well, 17 points and 9 assists. And OG Anunoby, after dropping 35 points the other night, another great game with 28. If they need him to score, he could, for sure. But when he have big scoring games like this, only 1 steal, not much else. And Josh Hart, only 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Not much going on with the Knicks. Even this game, Cameron Payne only played 18 minutes. Had 15 points, but if he's only going to play 15 minutes next game, right, it's not, we don't even want to stream him, Moving on to the next one, the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Milwaukee, right? The Damian Lillard, he's out for the season due to some blood clot issues. Kind of similar issue to Wembanyama. You don't see that usually happen for a guy that's been in the NBA forever. I mean, he just had it. So I don't know what's going on all these years. But now with everybody out, Brook Lopez is going to carry the load. 1 steal and 3 blocks, 26 points. Amazing. Kyle Kuzma, with everybody out, you get him as your third scorer, right? But doesn't really do much with it. Just 10 points and 2 blocks. Though Kevin Porter Jr. or Gary Trent Jr., right, with Damian Lillard out, somebody's going to get a lot of minutes, right? Damian Lillard played 35 minutes a night. So maybe they go with Kevin Porter. So he has some upside. I would pick him up. I would also pick up Gary Trent Jr. for next game if you need, right, he give you points, threes, and steals, right? If you play 30-plus minutes. Who knows? AJ Green now. If you need threes, you could also have him, right? So now a lot of minutes just open up. And Bobby Portis is also suspended, right? Even Giannis plays, maybe they decided to go, some of the guards lose a few minutes, but yeah. With Dame out, I think Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent, these guys have the best upside. And Torian Prince, he's just consistent. Three threes and a steal, right? Doesn't really to do much on this team, just playing defense and shoot threes. They got so many of these guys, but with Damian Lillard out, Giannis has to carry the load. Who knows? I mean, they might be able to win one playoff series in the East because the teams are pretty weak. But another disappointing year for the Bucks. Another year with injury related because last year same thing happened. For the Denver Nuggets, Jokic first came back, yeah, almost a 40-point triple-double. Just too easy. Just too easy for him. So with him going off, Michael Porter Jr. also had an amazing game shooting the basketball. 6 threes, 23 points. Added 3 steals as well. Jamal Murray had a quiet game with just 17 points. And with Aaron Gordon back, right, if you were streaming Peyton Watson, he still had 34 minutes. But yeah, I would drop him unless there's a back-to-back and you need some blocks and some defensive stat. Peyton Watson give you that, but yeah, Aaron Gordon should get more minutes moving forward. Let's look at the last game of the night. We have the Boston Celtics beat Phoenix. Celtics, they're 5 games behind the Cavaliers. I mean, mathematically, it's still possible, but realistically, they're not going to catch them. So I feel like they're going to start resting more and more players down the stretch. Especially Jason Tatum. I don't know why. He hurt his ankle and he's questionable this game. Why is he rushing to get back? So I think Tatum is going to miss a bunch of other games, to be honest. That's unfortunate timing. Tatum has been healthy all season. So with Tatum out, nobody really benefit. Like Peyton Pritchard plays just 25 minutes, even with Tatum out, right? They probably give more minutes to Al Horford, guys like that. They go bigger, right? Porzingis had an amazing game, but Phoenix, defensively, they're really bad. If Porzingis plays like this, Celtics, how can they even beat them? People forget how good Porzingis were when he was on the Knicks, right? And now he's like the third option, fourth option. He can cook. They can put him in different mismatches, and he can just cook. Crazy good efficiency and 2 blocks, yeah. This team is going to be hard to beat. Derrick White hit 4 3, 16 points, 7 assists. Did his thing, that's great. And Jrue Holiday had 16 points as well. So I think, with Tatum out, like Al Horford, if you haven't already started streaming, right, he's another guy in category leagues I really like. He provide a lot of different, especially if you need those peripheral stats, right? If you need points, no, he's not the guy, but he give you pretty much everything else. Jaylen Brown had 24 points as well. Phoenix, defensively, they're just not that good. KD had 30 points, but if you look at his stat, right, 30 points and 3 threes, good efficiency. Like KD's line looks good efficiency, but he's just not helping the team. Because I mean, he's a good defender, but offensively, a pretty good comparison is like, would you rather have Luka or would you have KD? If you look at the efficiency, KD's way miles ahead, but Luka can really drive the team offense. KD doesn't really like. I don't know. Maybe just to like same kind of the same issue with Kawhi. It's just like they can get their buckets, but can they get their teammates involved? Um, or run plays, right? Read defenses. That's like one thing that Devin Booker is doing that. 10 assists here, but didn't shoot the ball well. 14 points. Disappointing year for the Phoenix Suns. Not sure what else to put it. Their roster, it just doesn't work. Doesn't work out. And when Bradley Beal is taking up $15 million, like who else do you really have? Who else is good on your roster, right? Tyus Jones is pretty solid. Royce O'Neal, but like nobody can really move the needle. They're like solid NBA players, but they're not gonna help you win a chip. So another bad loss for them. Well, we'll see what happens with them next year. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.